Hi there! Have you ever wanted to make birria? Well, today's your lucky day because I'm going to show you how. So grab your apron and come join me in the kitchen. For today's episode, we have one of my favorite recipes of all time. It's birria. It's a traditional Mexican dish that originates from Jalisco, and usually it's made with goat meat, but you can make it with pork or chicken or beef, really whatever protein that you desire. It's usually made for big celebrations like a wedding or the birth of a child, or in our case, I like to make it when it's Christmas because it's a nice warm stew and it's a nice way to get family together. So for the list of the ingredients, let's get to them. To make your birria, you're going to need 5 pounds of chuck roast, 1 onion, 6 Cascabel Chiles, 2 Ancho Chiles, 4 whole cloves, 4 bay leaves, 1 tablespoon vinegar, 1/8 a teaspoon of cumin, 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 a teaspoon of oregano, a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, 1 teaspoon of garlic, a 4 teaspoon of pepper, and 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. To start making your birria, cut your meat into 1-inch cubes and cut your onion into quarters and add them into a large pot. And then fill up the pot with water until there's about 1 inch of water above all of your ingredients. Then place your pot on a medium-high burner until boiling and skim off the fat of buildup that forms at the top of your pot. Then reduce to medium heat and add all of your spices together into the big pot and make sure to give it a big mix. While the meat is cooking, on the side, remove all the seeds and veins from your Cascabel and Ancho Chiles, and a pro tip is to use gloves so that way the spices don't get in your hands, and that way if you touch your face, it doesn't hurt you later on. Cover the peppers in a different saucepan with enough water to cover them and boil them until tender. Then place the chiles and water used for boiling in a blender and then blend thoroughly. Strain your blended chile mixture and pour the liquid into the meat pot using a small metal strainer. However, do not discard the pulp yet. Once you finish with straining the content of the blender, add an additional 4 cups of water over your chile pulp to get all of that good flavor that comes from the chiles. After you're done with this step, then you can discard the pulp. Now is the easy part. Set your temperature to medium heat and simmer your birria until tender, which will take about 2 to 3 hours depending on your stove. So make sure to keep an eye on it and constantly mix it every 15 to 20 minutes to make sure that everything is getting mixed together properly. And now, a quick hot tip for you. Something that I like to do when I make my birria is I also make my own salsa. It's great to complement your birria or just have it as a side for whoever wants a little spicy kick. So here are the ingredients. For your salsa, what you're going to need is going to be 4 Roma tomatoes, make sure that they are halved, 5 jalapeños, and depending on your heat preference, you can choose a different pepper or reduce or increase the amount of peppers, 15 Chile de Arbol, 10 for less spicy. To make your salsa, you're going to put your tomatoes, jalapeños, and Chile de Arbol in a small saucepan and cover it with enough water. Boil the ingredients until the skin of the tomatoes begins to peel off. Then, put all of your ingredients, plus your garlic and your salt in a blender with about half the water from the saucepan and blend until your desired consistency. And that's about it. Afterwards, you just put your food in or your birria in a bowl and you can enjoy it in many ways. You can enjoy it just like this with a little lime, cilantro, and onion put in here. You can put your salsa in here as well. Other ways to eat it is you can make the birria into birria tacos. I guess is the proper way to say it right now. So you shred your birria and you put it inside a quesadilla and it's so good as well. One of my personal favorites as well that I've started to discover recently is make ramen birria, which you just cook the ramen noodles inside the birria stew and then shred your meat on top of it, and it's also so good. No matter how you prefer to eat it, I guarantee you that it's going to be delicious. So let's try it. It's so good. Okay, I'm gonna put this down, otherwise I'm gonna eat the whole thing right now. Happy dance. It's so good, yo. Anyway, with that said, thank you guys for having us in your home, and we'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.